Hello friends, welcome to Squaird Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today we're going to be doing a flip through of my October After the Pen spreads here in my catch-all Frankenplanner. I use this planner to basically house all of my planner needs, everything together in this one planner. So I'll be sharing with you my planner setup along with those After the Pen spreads for the month. I am filming this on the 31st of October, so I have some incomplete spreads to show you that I'm currently working through, but I thought that might be interesting for you guys to see how I am midweek in my planner. So hopefully this video kind of meets a need if you were curious about that. I will be doing a live chat during the premiere of this video, so if you're able to join me for the live chat, welcome, and I hope you guys can jump in, ask any questions, and also feel free to just drop comments about planner stuff, planner life, or anything in particular that you want to talk about in that forum. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the intro. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So first off, I have this catch-all Frankenplanner, like I mentioned, on expander discs at the moment, and she's still pretty chunky. I have a transformer planner of sorts working in the back here with my Christmas planner, so I'll show you that near the end when we get to it. That's why it's a little bit bulkier than it would normally be, since I haven't even moved in most of the months of November yet. But the expander rings, for the most part, are just enough for me to get through everything that I need to on a regular basis without it being too full. I also have this DIY cover that I made last year, so I ended up layering it with the inside cover of another DIY planner I made, or cover I made, both laminated. This is laminated vellum, and then this was laminated printable paper cardstock. So each season I do a refresh, and as part of that I end up adding a bunch of fall elements to my planner just to give it a nice, vibe that is very seasonal. And so I did do that fall refresh on video if you want to see that and want to know more about that. I will try to link any videos that are relevant to my setup down below in the description, along with any products that I use for my planner setup as well. If you have any questions, start there. And if you can't find what you're looking for, feel free to drop me a comment and I'll be happy to answer that for you. So here I have a sticky dash, which is just a piece of acetate mixed with a cardstock here as a backer, and I use some plastic photo corners to keep those together, and then some various stickers from my stash, which are very temperamental this season. And then on the back I had done some fall decor on the dashboards a couple years ago, and I'm using those same dashboards. I have a few cute little cardstock images. Next we have my pocket folder, which is another DIY project. Again, a printable mixed with some cardstock, and also my DIY pen loop. I have a lot of DIY projects, mainly because I can't find what I want, and so I end up making it myself. And these pen loops are one of them. I was actually looking for a magnetic version. The only thing I don't like about these DIY ones is that right where the seam is, it doesn't stick very well. The raw leather sticks just fine. It's just where the seam is, it doesn't stick, and so sometimes they flop around, and I don't like that. But anyway, so I was looking at some alternatives, and I saw one by Cloth and Paper called the Clips, which is or Eclipse maybe, which looked really interesting, but was kind of expensive. So I'm hoping to check them out on Black Friday and see if I can maybe snag one for my planner for 2025. Anyway, side note about the pen loop. And then I also have my friction pen, which is my main pen throughout the planner. I've actually upgraded this one. I had gotten the knock ball, which was still plastic, but a little bit better quality. And then I found this one that was an upgrade from that, which was like $18, I want to say, just for one pen. But I use refills all the time, and so I use the same pen over and over. And it's got a heavy metal kind of barrel here, and then also a metal refill. And the ink is darker. It does last longer, I feel, than just the standard plastic versions of the pens. So I think it was worth the money, specifically since I use this pen every day. It's my main pen. So I'll have that link down below. But I really like this upgrade. The weight of the pen is more substantial, and I just enjoy writing with it a lot better. All right, so that is another side note. Back to the flip through. I have my library card here in the pocket folder for now, since I don't have another place to collect my book reading log type stuff. And I gave this away as a freebie a long time ago, but still available. You can check out the video with my library card and get your own freebie from that. But I really like this, and I have been working through quite a few books via audiobooks mainly this year. Next, we have my autumn self-care pocket pages, which again was another freebie I gave away as a printable. And I had this pocket pages from way back when, and have been working through some of those. Mostly in September, I was much more ambitious. October just snuck up on me and got real busy. So you're going to kind of see some of my goals and things like that too. Just haven't been where I want them to be because just things started getting super busy for some reason. So I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so next we're getting into the sections of my planner. I have 6 tabs here on the side for 6 main sections within my planner. This first section is my inbox, and I have this fall dashboard layered from my shop. So this is a printable in my shop that you can customize for whatever sections you want. I have that in there, and then I also have my inbox printable, which I actually took a look at not too long ago, and I have been working through some of these, but I may have been mainly using my inbox for more items that are long-term or things that I want to get to, but maybe not immediately or not ready for scheduling yet. So that's been working out really nicely. I have a couple of inserts from my shop in here. I printed out just what I needed. So I did a double inbox and next steps, a waiting on projects, and someday list. I also printed out a whole fresh copy so that I could use it. This was from 2023, and I was planning on migrating it for 2024, but I haven't done that yet. So I'll just save this for 2025. Anyway, next section is my goal section. Again, another layered dashboard. And then these I've been setting up for the last few years as a DIY insert. So my goals here, I have my word of the year with my vision statement, along with a vision board on the back to pull goals from. And then I have my quarterly goals pages, which again, I've just been working through all year round. And we are in quarter 4. So these are all filled out, and I'll use those to do my monthly goal setting. I have videos on that if you guys want to see just that process as well. So next we have my productivity section. This section is new to my planner, I think this year. And so I have a few things in here that I really like. Got my morning routine, which is still a little too tight for me to get it all done in the morning, as I'm having a fantastic morning. So I'm waiting for the time to change this coming weekend to see if I can get a little more time in the morning before my cutoff time so that I'm done and ready for the day at 9 with my morning routine. Another DIY project, there is a video on that. I also have this time blocking schedule for the week that I wanted it to work, but it being up in the front and not immediately next to my week has been a little bit more of a challenge to work it into my system. And I am brainstorming ideas for 2025 to keep this in my planner, but have it be more usable, I guess, in my routine. So some things I'm thinking through for my 2025 setup, but this is a really valuable tool to me. It's just me having to constantly use it over and over and access it. That's the problem, not the actual tool itself. So I've made some task flags for all of my repetitive things that I do on the weekly, and then time block them out on the days so I kind of can figure out how much time I have for things that I really want to get done, including my goals and some free time, things like that, that I want to plan for so that I actually get those things available to me. And like I said, October has been kind of a hot mess, so this one really hasn't been touched, I don't think, in a couple weeks now, unfortunately. And then on the back of that, I have my block schedule, which was, again, another way to schedule out your day, but more into time blocks, which is kind of the basis of how I approach my weekly planning. I want that routine to be done within 2 hours, and then I want to have a couple hours for working out and, running errands, things like that. And then I have a work block, and then a break, and then another work block, and then that downtime. So pretty much my days follow this schedule anyway, but I get very specific with the time blocking in the scheduling section when I use it properly. So that's the basis of this. And this is very helpful if you need a more fluid schedule that you can, keep loose, but gives you some structure to your day. And then I have my portfolio Kanban board, which, we're just going to blow through because I'm not even thinking about that project right now, but I've had it in here for a while. I did make some progress, but then it just fell again off to the wayside because I really don't want to do it. But I'm trying to promote, doing this task. So I've been trying so many different things. You guys know, if you've been with me for years, I've been trying so many different things. This was one of the best things I found to help push me along, but it still hasn't been enough to keep me on track with that project. Okay, so finally next we have my schedules tab. Now this is the 4th tab in my 6-tab system, and this is where we're going to spend most of our time. This is where I put all of my scheduled planner items, and then I divide them up using these top tabs here into their individual planner types. I do have, I think, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 planner specific topics that I have planners for, if that makes sense. And then this front one is just all my annual pages also listed out as a yearly planner. So you'll see there should be about a set of 5 tabs for each, or 5 tabs. There should be a set of 5 of these 4 top tab systems up here. And each one of those are pages that I touch on a daily basis so that nothing gets forgotten. That's kind of the problem with this guy here being down here at the bottom. It just gets forgotten. It's not part of my system, and I think that's why it's not quite working for me right now. Anyway, let's jump into the first section, which is going to be my year planner, and I'll just kind of show you the updates and where we're at with that. At the front, I actually have a work calendar that is just the perpetual calendar from this Happy Planner that I've been using all year to track some important dates for my freelance work. So I'm going to keep that closed since that's a little bit more private. But then we have my year at a glance, which is here at the front. And these are from my shop. A majority of the items that you're going to see in here are from my Etsy shop. I have a shop full of printables in 5 different sizes. So if you're looking for something that you see here, it should be listed down below in classic size, but I also carry letter Happy Planner big size. I have half letter A5 and then HP mini, Happy Planner mini. Okay, so year at glance, I just stuck a tab in there for quick reference, and then we have this freebie I gave away with my 2024 planner setup of important dates and holidays printed on vellum. And then we have 2025. Next, we have my yearly habits section, which is where I've been tracking my self-care habits for the last year. And basically, I just go through this every day and check off the items or make a little dot on the items that I complete. So in a really nice way to kind of keep those self-care type items going and have it all in one place. Next, we have my future log, which is another valuable tool in my planner. This guy I have color-coded with specific topics, and then I use those dots to let me see at a glance what the month is going to look like, and then I can reference any of these, color-coded dots down below and find the events or appointments, whatever that is happening below it. So that is the future log, and then I've started a 2025 kind of future planning page on the back of that so that I can remember to add that to my next planner. And here I just kind of penciled in October because I'm using cardstock for this month. And because I cut up the inserts I normally use, I need a cover sheet. So I think I'm just going to print one. I was going to try to hand draw it, but I was like, no, that's going to be too much. So I'll just print one and then stick it down to this guy here. So this is my Memory a Day planner here at the front. It's technically a monthly planner, but because I'm only using the months for each section, or I guess for the planner itself, and then, there's no weeklies, I put it here in the front with my annual planner, and then I just replace it out each month. Like I said, this one here, I use some cardstock. I'm just going to go ahead and pull this out. And I used a brown Tombow pen with my fine liner from Right Tech for the actual memory keeping. Trying to get back on track here. I got a little distracted. And this has turned out really cute. I started to pull back a little bit on my memory keeping before I was kind of getting into the paragraph arena, and now I'm pulled back to just do a highlight each day. And this is a lined monthly, so it does help keep things kind of neat and tidy in here. And I like the addition of the doodles and things to make it look interesting to look at. You definitely like it better now that it's filled in. I kind of liked it in the beginning before I filled it out, but seeing it filled in, I just brings me more joy, I think. So I have that there. And on the back, I made a kind of currently of the media that I consume. So here I've got the TV I watched, the movies that I watched as well during that month, and then books that I've read or listened to as audiobooks. Let me go ahead and drop this guy back in. So that's my year planner. My next planner is my faith planner. And again, using printables from my shop. So the first section is my faith overview section. It's available in my shop as an individual add-on page. Here I use it to track my prayer list for the month, habits that I want to maintain. I also have over here just this big open area where I like to put a monthly verse, and then I have my kind of spiritual check-in area for the month that comes pre-made with prompts that you can go ahead and fill out yourself. I decorate this planner all at once in the beginning of the month and set up everything in the same theme so that I don't have to worry about decorating pages each week. It's all set up and ready to go, which I really like about this planner. So I'm going to drop this in, even though I'm pretty much done for the month. And you can see, I've talked about this in the past, but when you have spreads like this and you want to bookmark them, these clear tabs are invaluable for that. So you don't have to basically do what I was doing before, where you're picking it up and trying to see, or actually taking it out in order to see. The clearness, you basically can see both pages at one time, which I really, really advise as a benefit if you're trying to organize your planner. I mentioned this before in a previous video, so just something to think about if you are doing a 2025 setup. Clear dividers really do make a big difference, specifically with spreads versus individual pages, spreads in particular. Okay, so next we're going to My Faith Monthly, and here you can see I ended up missing one day, but for the most part I did really well on this spread. I used this part of the planner to house my daily Bible reading. So these are the actual scriptures that I read that day, and then I do what I call the takeaway, which is basically just an application of that Bible reading down below that I can kind of think about and dwell on. Make sure I'm absorbing the information that I read. So next we have a quadrant layout from my Etsy shop for the weeklies. And here I use it to do a verse of the day kind of lettering practice. So I like to take one color or two colors at a time plus black and design the week. So for this month, I ended up only doing one color per week, coordinating it with the washi tape I used as a highlight there in the decor, and that worked out really well. So this was how I designed the first week. And here is the next week. This one here, I ended up pulling out the orange tones from the washi like that. The orange was a little bit easier to work with. I grabbed my verse of the day from a Bible app called YouVersion Bible app, and it has my daily Bible reading in there. I don't even have to think about it. It auto tracks the plan that I read the Bible through once every year, and then it has the verses of the day just fed in as well. So it's all in one place, very handy for faith planning in the morning when, I'm just going through my planner, and then I can just grab my phone and get it all done in one fell swoop. So this was how this week turned out. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the lettering on the next week. Again, I picked that color up from the washi tape. And when I approach my lettering, basically what I do is I look at the verse and then try to interpret it somehow through the lettering if I can find a good way to do that. Sometimes it's highlighting certain words. Sometimes it is actually doodling to showcase the main topic or for the symbolism. Also, I like to structure the type in a specific way. Like you can see here, it's in a circle to, just give it a little bit of presence if I don't really see something else to call out, or highlighting specific words, like I said, that I want to bring to your attention somehow through the lettering. So that is how I approach it. Here is the next week. I missed one day of lettering this week. I pretty much missed almost that whole day of stuff, but I ended up doing the application. So this one here, I went back to the yellow, and sometimes what I do is most of the time what I do is I pencil in the verse first, and then I'll go back in with my pens and write over it so I can make sure everything's going to fit and make sense and I can get all the words in. I get creative sometimes I get inspiration from the app itself, but super fun. I really have enjoyed this practice and looking back and seeing how I progressed over the time. What I had planned to mention and kind of forgot was that I have a lettering series. That's what I wanted to mention before. And so if you just kind of want to see how I approach this in a little bit more detail, there is a playlist on my channel called Lettering, and there you will see how I approach my faith Bible lettering. So we are in this week right now. Like I said, today is the 31st, so I have 3 more days of the week to fill out. So it's incomplete, but hopefully I will make time to get through all 3 days, no problem. And I have the what do you call this? The divider in here, so you can kind of see. But again, just having it clear just makes it really, really handy. And then on the back, I decided to do this challenge, this kind of weekly gratitude challenge. And I honestly haven't really done it. Like I said, October just got super busy on me. So I look at it every day and think, okay, yeah, I should do something. And then I forget about it because just things start coming at me. It was a good idea. And I think in another month, I probably would have been a little bit better at fulfilling this. But basically, I picked out 5 prompts from, it was a Happy Planner sticker book that had the prompts in them. So I just picked them out and had planned to work on each one, one per week. And yeah, a good idea if you want to try something else in your faith planner. This would be great for November, especially if you're busy around the holidays, but you want to add a little gratitude. This was a good idea, I think, for that. I have a tab in here. The label came off and I haven't reprinted it. So we're so close to the 2025 setup that I just decided to leave it blank, and I'll just do all the new labels all at once for the upcoming year. So that's the tab for it. And then I have next to it my monthly cleaning schedule, since I do want to come to this page every day, but I only need to see this page. So it's nice that I can see my monthly cleaning schedule right next to it and not forget about it. So it kind of reminds me to do some cleaning when I can throughout the week. And on the back of this is my kind of annual spring cleaning type stuff. This was a DIY project, and I do have a video on it if you want to know more. So that's really the end of my faith planner with this little add-on here. Next, we're going to move on to my health planner. So for my health planner, again, using printables from my shop, this one in particular, this first spread, is more of a customized spread. So it's not available as is, but has been the one I've been using throughout the year. It includes a step tracker on one side here with some habits. And then I have my workout monthly here and hopefully my lifting routine, but I've only done it once this month. So this is one of those goals that just has not been successful this month at all. It's kind of gone to the wayside. I do set this up all at once in the beginning of the month. Not all of the pages though, just the monthly pages. Then the weekly pages I do individually each week. So you'll see a similar theme through these monthly pages, and as we go through to the weeklies, you'll see some new themes. But I decided on this kind of bright orange yellow tone for the highlighter color for the month, coordinating with the washi tape, and that worked out pretty well. I thought that the color was a little bright, but it was still good and energizing. Next, we have my health, medical, supplemental pages. This is my meds and supplements page, where I basically just track all of the things that I'm ingesting in my body or putting on my body for health and well-being. So I have that, and then I also have a little symptom summary of my chronic symptoms that correlate to the day and match up well with this page here, which is my health symptoms page. And here I really just spell out all the individual symptoms that I have every day, basically the severity and any triggers that I can identify. So this has been really valuable. I am really thinking about 2025 and how I want to move forward with this. I've been tracking my symptoms and my overall health for many years now. I'm like maybe going on to 6 or 7 years of tracking this type of information. I haven't really gained much insight aside from, identifying specific maybe foods that I kind of see trigger me, but my overall health hasn't improved that much from this knowledge. So even though I think it's valuable knowledge, specifically if you don't have any clue, I'm just kind of debating whether I want to keep doing this going forward or if it's, time to retire it. So something I'm thinking about for 2025. Again, just kind of sharing with you guys so you can also start thinking about your own planner setups and what you might want out of them. Okay, so now we're on to the very first weekly, and as you can see, it has a little bit of a different vibe. This one, I decided to do a kind of corner design and mix it in with some gradients of fall colors, coordinating with the little icons I used here, and I thought this turned out pretty cute. I remember sitting here doing this and thinking that this area right here was a little bit awkward with the dot washi in the background, but I think it worked out fine in the end. I was just being a little self-critical at that time. I believe these are all Planny Things stickers, except for maybe this dot washi. So I think that this washi is... Oh, and then these quotes are actually a Happy Planner quotes. But the boxes are Planny Thing, and so are the stickers. I haven't done very many Plan With Me's in the last few months, so if there's anything that you see sticker-wise or decor-wise on some of these individual weeks that you want more information about, just drop that in the comments or in the live chat if you're seeing this right now, and I'll be happy to kind of give you the information if I can remember. Like I said, most of these won't have a Plan With Me on. I've just been posting them on Instagram each week. This one here was... I don't know what I was doing. It was another one where I was just kind of throwing things together, but I wanted to use some of the more vintage items that I've been, stashing away in my stash for a long time. So I pulled some of those out. I've got some layered washi in there. I have this like blue theme with the cars and travel, but more of a vintage style. And I just try to make some clusters in the four corners. The theme was a little bit vague, but I think it worked out in the end. I just found this quote that said ready to go, and I thought that would work well for my health planner. So this one here was based off of some stickers I got from Anna Bean on a Mission, and she has a cute little shop where she does sticker subscriptions, and she sent me some of her stickers just to use at my discretion. So I thought that this would be a fun one to just add some cooler tones into my planner in the midst of all of the fall feels that I've been having. And it was a nice break for sure. I haven't talked about what I actually track on these weeklies. Basically what I track is my health stats. So you'll see that on each day along with my food log, and then my workout for the day, along with the time I spent during that workout and the active calories that I burned. So it's just kind of an overview of my health and well-being. I do find that these pages are really kind of interesting to look at when I go back through my planners over the years and see when I was maybe feeling successful with my health, losing weight or gaining muscle, or even my overall chronic allergies maybe being lighter or less, overwhelming. And then I like to see what I was doing during those time frames to see if I can repeat that. So just, looking at these pages makes it really easy to go back through the years and figure out when I was feeling my healthiest and how to maybe try to replicate those feelings and progress. So this one, again, was pretty fun. Anna Bean stickers mixed with Happy Planner stickers. I think these are from the Wellness Warrior sticker book. Some really colorful washi from Daiso. And these boxes were from Planny Thing. Did I talk about these? Oh yeah, so this was just like vintage stuff that I got from like Journal Say and Stationery Pal over the years. So this was last week, and I really loved how this turned out. These are Planny Thing stickers, these like kind of neighborhood houses mixed in with some script washi, and then these little individual leaves are actually a washi tape that I ended up cutting up. This is the washi tape itself. This was from a Planny Thing, I think this was from a subscription. And I was like, well, I don't normally like to just put, strips of washi like this on my page. I think that kind of, I don't know, just doesn't do it for me. But I had the idea to cut them out individually, and I think that worked awesome. Love the kind of just windswept look of the leaves scattered throughout, and simple but clean. I also added in a little bit of brush pen to coordinate with the quote that I pulled for it, and I think this one just turned out really, really pretty. And here's the one we're in right now. Again, in the middle of the week, so you're going to see some incomplete weeks. But basically what I do every morning is when I'm flipping through these tabs, I will go on to the day that just happened, and then I will fill out what I ate, what my steps were for the day, or my stats, and then the workouts. So today's Thursday. I just did complete my workout, but I won't have this information until later in the day. So I usually just wait till the next day to fill out this page. I really love this theme as well. I love a gradient. I love a soft gradient, and a little bit of a break from those like super traditional fall colors, but still has some fall feels. Thought this was really good. Pumpkins for the end of October. And again, really love this. These stickers are from Wellness Planning, I think is the name of the sticker book, but it's got lots of brown kind of Western, not Western, but like, I guess, yeah, kind of Western, like Rocky Mountain National Park vibes to it, I guess. But these are the colors, and I coordinated super nicely with these pumpkins from a Plan Anything sticker book. And I used some washi tape to just keep that color vibe going through, along with some PET tape stickers that I had as well. So the last page of my health planner is my fasting tracker, available in my shop if you need one as well. I've been doing 1 meal a day fasting for the last over a year now. I've pretty much been doing it, and it's been working out really good as far as helping me curb my eating habits and giving my body time to hopefully heal itself. That's really why I started. I wanted to kind of get into autophagy. I'm not really sure how you say that word. I'm trying to think of the pronunciation right now, but I know I'm not saying it right. But basically, where your cells start to repair themselves, and it takes like up to 17 to 20 hours or something like that for your body to have no food, no digestion happening, so that your cells will start to clean themselves up. So that's why I started it. I really want to get into doing extended fasts to try to help my chronic issues. But I've only been able to maintain this 1 meal a day fasting schedule so far. So this is what I use to track it, just so that I can kind of keep in mind when I last ate and, when I should be able to eat again. I go for about a 20-hour fasting period every day, so at least 20 hours, if not more. And I've been tracking when I hit those days by highlighting the 20 hours or more in the total fasting column. Sometimes I break it when I feel like I need a snack, or if I eat too early and then, later in the day I'm still hungry. But for the most part, I've been pretty consistent this month, which has been good. I'm going for 20 days of 20-hour fasts, and I think I'm going to do it. If I can finish this today off strong, then I will have 20 days complete of over 20-hour fasts. I also use this note section to help me figure out the hours, since I'm not super strict on when I start or when I stop eating. I just kind of let my body tell me when I need to do things. And so it's good to have this here so I can calculate the hours each day, since they vary. One more thing about this, these are the hours, so it only goes to 12 hours since I know I'm not going to eat all day. And it allows me to have more room for this information. But there is another fasting tracker as part of the set that goes 24 hours. So if you just want to know like when you start or when you stop throughout the entire day, there is another tracker as part of this set. I put in a dot for when I break my fast with food, and then when I stop fasting. I usually have a decaf coffee in the morning, so I don't count that. It's when I actually eat a meal. So this is it, and like I said, I'm still kind of working through this, so everything's in there, but still needs to be completed before I can move stuff out. Next to this, I also have attached my health trackers insert. This is just a customized insert I made for myself. In it, I have on one page a monthly measurements tracker, so something that I can keep track of all of my body measurements for the month. And then on the opposite side is just a full year of my daily weigh-ins. So I weigh myself every morning, and then I write in that on the other side. But we're going to keep that closed. I don't really share that information anymore because things kind of went off the rails after COVID. So it's just kind of been private. And then on the back of it, I also put in my monthly health stats. So this, I include my monthly totals and then my daily averages. Basically, the stats that you're seeing on these pages are here again in a monthly view. So I can just kind of compare the months and see how I'm doing overall. And I have my goals at the top on each section, monthly totals, daily averages. This is important to separate because sometimes the months are shorter, and that makes a difference as far as you may think you didn't do as well, say from January to February. February, all my numbers went down, but actually maybe my daily averages went up. So it really depends because, like I said, every month has a different amount of days. So this has been really valuable. And this is the last section of my health planner. The next planner, and pretty much the last planner we're going to go through, is my agenda planner, which is the one that houses all my dates, events, to-dos, tasks, things like that. Again, using a mix here of inserts from my shop and from the Happy Planner. This first spread is my agenda overview, which is a combination of two inserts from my shop. So a little bit of a customized setup. And then in it, I also have my fall bucket list. So I was keeping this bucket list in the next section, which is my monthly, but I found that I like it better here in this overview section, mainly because it doesn't block any days or anything like that. It's easy to see these pages individually, so it just makes it a little bit of a better place for this to be housed in my planner. But I love having it as part of my daily system so that I can keep these things in mind to do. I do find that I get a little bit workaholic-y, if that's even a word, where I just try to plow through work and I forget to take time to enjoy life a little bit. So that's why I do these fall bucket lists, just to get me out and about, enjoying things, enjoying life. And I've been checking off a few items because, like I said, having it here really helps me think about it on the daily and utilize it for fun and excitement throughout the season. Here on this page, I have a month overview, and in it, I have my monthly to-dos here in the long section, along with some habits that I'm tracking, mainly related to my goals. Some are just kind of like where I'm spending my time. And then I have on this side my monthly goals for October. So here I set this up at the beginning of the month, and then I use those goals to kind of filter in throughout the weeks and try to tackle the tasks that you're seeing here each week as I can fit them in. I do have a process video on my monthly goals and quarterly goals related to that. So if you want to know more about that, there is a video on it, and I'd be happy to link it for you if you can't find it. So let me put this guy back in. And the next spread is actually Happy Planner monthly. And here I've been attaching my insert to the divider of this planner. So I'm using the monthly and the weeklies out of this horizontal planner from the Happy Planner. This year, I started doing this in July, and I've just been carrying that through since I changed over from my hourly grid layout, and it's been good. I had the planner on hand, so that's the main reason why I'm using it, just to get some use out of the pages before the dates expire. I mean, otherwise I would just use something from my shop, but because I had the planner, I decided to use it here in the last half of the year. And on it, you can kind of see some highlighted boxes and things, but I've also been trying to add those goal tasks that I want to tackle here on the monthly. Like I said, I didn't do very well in October with keeping up with my goals, mainly because there was just a lot going on, but I did map them out to what I wanted to do for the month, and I did maybe one or two, but not as much as I've done in the past. So a little bit of a disappointing month for me on that front, but it is nice to have it here on the monthly. So when I'm planning out my week, I can say, oh yeah, I need to tackle this project of the goals or this task in my goals. And it just kind of keeps me on task with getting things done and accomplishing those goals. I also put in a couple of self-care items here into the sidebar related to that self-care item list that I had from the front of the planner. Because it's in the front, sometimes I forget about it, so it is nice to have just like a quick little list of things that I still need to tackle here for reference every day. And I didn't mention this, but again, the monthly pages will all be themed in the same theme, so you can kind of see these ones were actually rub-on transfers, and I did do a setup video on it. So it's a mix of rub-on transfers and stickers. Super fun one if you never tried rub-on transfers. Those are really nice to add into a planner setup. Okay, so we're on to the first week, and this one I decided to do this golden fall theme, I guess, with some sweaters and some leaves, but I just really liked the vibes on this. I may have done the video, I can't remember. I also did some gold splatter here just to add a little bit of texture. So fun. I really loved how this turned out, and you're definitely seeing some of the metallic there. I have another light shining on it, which I don't normally have. I like to use just window light, but the glare from the overhead light, you can kind of see the same kind of glow that I get when I look at it, which is why I shy away from metallics most of the time in my planner. But for this one, I just worked out so well with the style of the stickers that I decided to bring in these quotes. These are from Plan Anything. This is also from Plan Anything, these stickers, and the boxes too. So I think the only thing that was from Happy Planner were the quotes, and those were from like Woodland Seasons, if I can remember correctly, and then the additional calligraphy ink. But really loved how this turned out. I'll talk a little bit about my setup here in a sec. This was another one that was just really pretty and fun to be in. A little more fall in tone. Tried some different inking and stamping that I've had in my stash for a while, but I get kind of shy with my stamping because I'm not very good at it. And it's kind of permanent. Not like stickers where if you put something down, it's not in the right spot, you can always kind of like get it up and make an adjustment. You know, stamps are stamps, so once they're on the page, they're on the page. I love the idea of stamps, but I do shy away from using them because of that permanence. But this one, I just kind of went for it. I tried some, mixed media ideas. I put some Tombow brush pen on a sticker sheet and kind of blended it out and stuck it down to give a little bit of a colored background. We used a stamp on top of that with a brown tone instead of a black, which I probably would have done previously, but I thought that the brown tone would be a little softer, and it was. Really like how that turned out. And then added some stickers on there. mainly these outline stickers along with a few highlighted PET tape stickers and a couple of regular colored clear stickers. Most of these are from Planything, so the boxes for sure are from Planything, and the outlined pumpkins and the regular pumpkins are from Planything. Okay, so the leaves are from a PET tape from Amazon, and then the quote is from Happy Planner over here. You can kind of see on each day, I always have a checklist of items that I need to tackle. So that's like my to-do list for each day. Then I'll have a box on somewhere on the day usually, or at least an area call out for anything that's like an appointment or a to-do that I need to do for that day. That's like a very day specific type thing. That's usually what I'll end up putting in there. And then I have also been putting in my workout schedule into my weeklies just so I remember what I'm doing each day. And that's pretty much it. So that's how I've been using these horizontal weeklies. So here is the next week, and I think I may have done a plan with me on this spread in particular. I use some Dollar Tree stickers, which are like textured. So any of these larger leaves here they're like in a rubbery texture, which is kind of interesting. They're different from regular stickers, but I really liked them. So I mixed those in with some pumpkins and just some various washi tapes and cardstock, some labels, just a whole bunch of different random things, and made some clusters. These pages turned out really nice. I, again, added in most of those items I just mentioned, the checklist, the focus, and any decor too as well. This was one from last week. So I had this brilliant idea to use these Dollar Tree stencils that I saw in their fall area. So these are made to go like actually on, I'm guessing, like on a pumpkin or maybe on a wood or something if you're doing some kind of crafting. And I just thought that would be kind of cute in a planner. So I went ahead and picked up a set and tried them out. They were very hard to work with. The stickiness of them is like serious, and they're very flimsy and lightweight and semi-transparent. So I was dealing with all of that as I was trying to set these up. They're also cut out for a stencil, so they have no structure where the letters are white. So it was a challenge to get them down. You can kind of see some of the bubbles that are still coming up. And then I also cut in some reliefs in some areas to help get rid of any air bubbles that were getting caught, but it still did a little bit of bubbling. So good in idea, but not so much in practice. But I do like the layout. It's kind of simple, but clean. It was actually pretty fun to be working in with this orange color being so nice and bright and fun to look at. And here's the week that we're in now. I don't normally do Halloween spreads. This one isn't technically a Halloween spread. I did want to get more of the like creepy vibes, but I didn't want to do Halloween. So I ended up going Victorian. I've done this a couple of times in the past. I went a little heavy on the creep factor though with the bats and the spider webs, but I think overall it's still a really pretty spread. I focused in on the florals, which were some florals that I had set up a long time ago on a wax paper and forgot about. So these are maybe like 2 years old. And I found them. I was like, oh, I need to use those. And pulled in some of those colors to the boxes as well, just to give it a little bit more of a seasonal theme, but again, not really going full in Halloween. Some of these other elements, these black and white elements, came from my Rosie Posey scrapbook paper book that I think I got that one from Stationery Pal a while back. So I added in some of those elements just to give it that, like I said, Victorian creepy vibe. And still working through it. It looks pretty good, I thought, in the end, and really liked the vibes actually, even though it is meant to be a little bit more on the creepy side. So the last spread in my agenda planner is for my social media tracking. So here I have a custom setup based off of some single page monthlies that I have in my shop. On this page is where I track my social media stats, have my Instagram and YouTube followers, and then I also have kind of a month view of the growth each channel gets. I also have my weekly checklist of things to do for social media, just so I don't forget about some certain items that need tending. And then over here, I have my social media schedule. So I basically map out the posts I'm going to do for the day along with the videos. And that's been working out pretty well. I actually have a couple of the future months already in here, so I have those sectioned off. But yeah, I love to do the setup ahead of time, and then I will go back through and check things off as they come about. And if things change, I use my friction pen so I can always erase and make adjustments. Although I had a couple of days where I did a lot of erasing, so you might be able to see some ghosting there, where it was like layers and layers, and then I was like, I forget it. And I just canceled. So anyway, that's it for that. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, and so these pages I style in that same monthly theme as you saw earlier in the setup, and I do a video each month, like I said, setting up this theme for the month. So that's it. Nothing on the back page. It's usually blank. The final planner that's actually in this schedule section is my finance planner or my budget planner. I have it in my shop, and I did do a setup video at the beginning of the year if you just kind of want to see how I'm personally using it, but I don't really show numbers. So that's why we'll keep that hidden for this video. But if you just want to know more about it and how I am budget planning, I do have a video on that, and I can forward that to you if you can't find it. So that's the end of my schedule section. Like I mentioned, all of these tabs at the top are pages that I need to look at on a daily basis. So that is how I navigate through my planner each morning, and then that's it. I don't necessarily look at these other sections unless I need to for some specific reason. So this next section is my reference section. I like to have certain things on hand, even though, like I said, I don't necessarily need them on the daily. So I have 4 tabs here. These 4 tabs carry the reference materials in different subjects of my life. I have a personal tab, business tab, a work tab, and a social tab. And I keep those tabs down here at the bottom so that they do not conflict with my top tabs, but are easy to find as I need them. So this first one is my personal, and I did style them out with these fall dashboards that are, again, DIY'd. I have some quote overlays, and then these really pretty fall printouts of stock photos, and then the kind of customization I did on the back of each. So that's that first section. I'm going to flip to the next one, basically just to show you guys the dashboards. We've got the vellum overlay here with another quote and cardstock, and then my backer. Then we have my work tab. Oh, interesting. So some of my toners coming off onto my dashboards. I think I'm going to buy some new dashboards for 2025 just to have a fresh set of tabs ready to go for the new planner. Just get a nice fresh start. So here we've got, again, another quote and cardstock backer. And then finally, we've got my social media. So this one has a quote and the cardstock. So that's the end of that reference section. The very, very final tab in my 6-tab system is being used currently just to house my note paper for when I need blank paper. And it has its own dashboard set up here in that fall theme. And then just some various paper on hand for when I need it. At the back, we have my pen loop, another DIY project with my 4-color pen that you saw throughout in specific pages. Again, something else I use on the daily. This one's just the plastic cheap one, but I think I'm going to upgrade this guy as well since, like I said, I basically use these 2 pens solely for planning. I don't really use any other pens, so I think the upgrade is worth the money, specifically because I just constantly refill them. So you can see that the back of this looks a little different. I have a holiday planner sectioned off in here in my catch-all planner so that I can keep it at hand, but also have its own kind of space in this planner for a little bit of separation from my fall feels side of things in my regular planner. So the way that I have it set up is as a transformer planner. For when I am ready to do holiday planning, all I need to do is move to this back cover, and then I can go like this, and now it's themed out with a holiday cover ready to go into this section. So if you've never seen a transformer planner before, that is how you would go about it. You could use transformer planning for not only something like this where you have, a separate holiday section, but say you wanted to separate all the various planners that you're using, like I do, like I have my faith planner and my health planner. You could put them in their own sections within one planner and have their own cover for each if you want to enjoy your covers. That's always a fun thing. So transformer planning is pretty fun for that. And basically all you need to do is take the covers that you want, insert it at the front of get your planner information that you're going to be dropping in your planner insert. So you have your front cover there, and then you actually put your back cover on top of it upside down so that they're bookmarked. So it's like this. So your planner before it will have the back cover of the next planner on it, and you stick it in together like this, kind of like backwards, and then it allows you to, like I said, play with your covers and to see them when you want to see them. So enough about transformer planning. I'll do a quick flip through of my holiday planner as is. I haven't made any progress really in this planner since I set it up, but I do plan to do more of that in November. This cover is a DIY cover I made maybe 2 years ago, and so I thought it would be a good insert in here. Just it's nice and subtle, but still very holiday. And then we have my holiday planner from my Etsy shop. So I went ahead and printed that out, got that in. I also added a sticky dash using another planny thing. This one I don't think is acetate, it's maybe something else, but it's a plastic dashboard for my stickies and then connected to another cardstock backer. I have this insert that I made the year before last year. So I might be refreshing that this year. And it's got my Christmas playlist along with my Christmas movies list that are always fun to watch around that time of year. And then a holiday books that I've read in the past or want to read. So there's that. Then I have my nice red dashboard. It kind of keeps me in the scheduling section, along with a couple of post-it notes here to help me plan out my month, things I don't want to forget. So I did set this up during the setup video. You can kind of see how to make things cute and fun, but this is part of my holiday planner from my shop. Oops. So I've got just November and December in there. I don't think I need a huge amount of holiday planning, so that's just the right amount for me. But the planner itself includes from September all the way through January. If your holiday gets extended quite a bit, then that might be useful for you. But like I said, I only printed what I needed, so November and December is all that I really use. And since I'm in a new area, I need to do a little more digging on what's around us for seasonal events. So I started a little list going through that. And I need to tackle a lot of these other pages. Like I said, I haven't done much in years since I did the setup. So I have a bunch of different items and some post-its to keep me thinking about what I want in here. But I'll do more of a setup probably in the coming weeks. At the back, I have a pocket folder that was another DIY project. And my back cover, which I don't know what's going on, if this is scratching it. I think it is, yeah, because it's got some like glitter on it. So it's scratching my back cover off a little bit. But there's that. And then you can see this is the inside back cover the inside cover of my fall planner. That goes there. So when I open this up, I'm back to a fall cover. So that's everything, you guys. Right now, like I said, it's kind of a rough month for me as far as October to get certain things done, but I do plan to do a little bit more intense planning in the upcoming weeks, specifically like in November. So stay tuned for any new videos, kind of showing you guys some holiday planning. I'll also be doing some preparation for my 2025 planner setup, and then maybe even some tutorial videos. I've got some ideas, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me today. If you were able to jump in on the live, thanks so much. I really enjoy having you guys here with me live, and we can kind of discuss and just get instant feedback on things. And for those of you watching later, thanks again for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also, too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!